First thing we're going to need is mortar, and after this we're going to take some oats, and it doesn't have to be anything special, just plain oats from your local supermarket. Since I'm going to be making this for several applications, I'm going to be using 1.5 tablespoons, but if you're only using this for one application, then you only really need about 1, possibly half a tablespoon. You won't need much if it's just for one mask. You want to grind it until it's a really fine powder, and it shouldn't take too long, maybe 2-3 minutes. Once you've ground the oats, I'm going to be using some aspirin, and if you're only doing this for one mask, you only really need about half an aspirin, but since I'm making this for several applications, I'm going to be using a whole aspirin. Once you've ground it up, I'm going to be using green clay, and I'm just going to add roughly the same amount as the oats. I'm not going to add more. And you want to mix it up. And once you've done this, just scoop it all out and put it in a bowl so that we can mix it with the water. After this I'm going to be using mineral water, and the reason I'm using mineral water is because tap water's got a lot of bacteria, and if you're trying to keep this for about a week or two so that you can use it throughout that time, it will go off earlier than that if you use tap water. So I'll be using mineral water and then adding 1 to 2 drops of lavender oil. And last thing I'm going to be adding are walnuts, and these are absolutely fantastic for just keeping your skin really moist and just putting a little bit of moisture back into them. The green clay can be really harsh on your skin sometimes, and I found that walnuts just stop it from being a little bit too brutal and clean my skin out, but without drying it, and it just leaves your skin feeling so lovely and soft. Once you've ground up the oats till they look a little bit similar to peanut butter, you want to just scrape it all out and add it to the mixture. Once I've ground it up, I'm just going to add it to the rest of the mixture, and I normally like to let this sit for about 10 to 20 minutes because it gives the oats time to just create a little bit more oat milk, so that the green clay isn't so harsh on your skin, because it can be a little brutal from pulling out all the rubbish in your skin, but I like to leave it a little bit because then it's not so brutal. So just go ahead and apply it to your skin. You can use your fingers or a brush, or you can even use the back of a spoon as well, and that tends to be a lot smoother because sometimes a brush can drag a little bit on your skin. If you've got very sensitive skin, I'd only recommend it for about 10 minutes. But if you've got normal combination skin, then you can leave it on for the full amount of 20. Now you just want to wash it off. When you take it off, you might notice that your skin's a little bit red, and don't worry, that's just because the aspirin and the green clay are doing their job and pulling the rubbish out of your skin, so it is going to look a little red for the next 10-20 minutes. But after that, you should notice that your skin just feels amazing. It should feel firm, clean and clear. It just shouldn't feel congested, and it should just look a little bit more alive. And if you've made any extra masks, you can put it away in a tin or maybe a little glass pot. I'm going to be using a glass pot because then the amount of times I've forgotten about something and then I open it later, I'm like, okay. But if it's in a glass pot, I can see it and I don't forget about it. And this should last you about 2 weeks. So go ahead and pop it in the fridge. You can use this every possibly 3 to 5 days, and that's it. A really simple skin saver face mask.